multiplying fractions. We're gonna do the standard algorithm of multiplying fractions, and we're gonna use models, kind of the new math sort of thing. And here we go. First, we're gonna do 1/2 times 2/3. We're gonna show it the way I learned in school, probably the way your parents learned in school. And then I'm gonna show you the model that we all have to know, like it or not. So here we go, 1/2 times 2/3. Here's the numerator and here's the denominator. These two are called factors. We're gonna find the product. So the way we do that is we just, pretty simple actually, multiply the numerators. 1 times 2 is 2, and 2 times 3 is 6. So we have a product of 2, 6. Can the product be reduced? Yes, it can. What's the common factor of 2 and 6? What is it? All right, 2? Yeah, 2 goes into both of them, right? So 2 divided by 2 is 1. And 6 divided by 2 is 3. So therefore, 2 6 equals 1/3. And I'm gonna show that to you right now. I just happen to have 2 6 right here, and I just happen to have 1/3 here. And you can see that 2 6 equals 1/3. Now you're gonna see this model in 6th grade math, and it always is confusing to everyone. Maybe not everyone, but some. So we're gonna now show the 1/2. So the 1/2 is right here. And we're gonna lightly shade 1/2. Let's pretend that this is 1/2 of a pan of brownies, okay? 1/2 of a pan of brownies. And now, let's say you have 1/2 of a pan of brownies left, and you're gonna sell 2/3 of that 1/2. Well, what is 2/3 of that 1/2? How much did you sell? So now I'm gonna switch colors for clarity purposes to green now, and now I'm gonna make 2/3, the factor 2/3. So again, this is 1/2, and now I'm going to do 2/3 going this way. So forget this is here, right? Forget that's there, and now I'm gonna put the thirds, okay? They should be even. Anyway, so now I'm gonna mark 2/3. There's 1/3 going across, so 1/3 and 2/3. And there we have 2/3. So right here represents 2/3. So 1/2 times 2/3. Now the overlap is the product. Okay, let's take a look at the overlap here. The overlap is the product. So here's the overlap right here. See the overlap? And that is 2 out of 6, which so happens to be right here, 1/3. Some people say it's a little much. And some people say it helps you understand the concept, but what do you think? What do you think? At any rate, we need to know it, so there's that. All right, let's go on to the next one, 1/2 times 6. 1/2 of 6. Kind of like multiplying is like the same as saying the word of. Of relate to multiplying. 1/2 of 6 or 1/2 times 6. So here's how I do that. This is a whole number, right? And this is a proper fraction, proper because the numerator is less than the denominator. So what we have to do is 1/2 times 6/1. Now that's the way I learned it in school how to do it. That's the way I still like to do it. I think it just makes sense. So 1 times 6 is 6, and 2 times 1 is 2. I should say we could cross cancel. I don't want to we could have cross canceled here too. All right, so we have 6/2, and 6/2 is a improper fraction, so 6 divided by 2, that is 3. And let me show you this with a model now. 6 1/2. All right, so important to know that 1/2 equals 5/10, which equals 50%. Those are called benchmark fractions. Really important to have these all memorized. 5/10 equals 1/2 equals 50%, and we have 6 of them. So we have a whole bunch of 1/2s, 6 1/2s, and I'll put them all together. So this is what one whole looks like. So let me put it together. And the whole point of these models is to help understand the concept. Because maybe when we were doing this as kids, like if an adult's watching this, we would just do the standard algorithm. We wouldn't really know, maybe until we're older, what is going on. So you can see 2/2 equal a whole. Well, if we have 6 1/2s, let me put 6 1/2s together. So there's another whole, and here is another whole, right? So 6 1/2s equals 3 wholes, just like that. So there's the model. All right, here we have 1/4 times 8, and I like this model. I think this helps conceptually understand multiplying fractions here. These particular models, I mean, you know, say what you want about other ones, but this has grown on me, especially when I see how effective it is in helping students understand the concept of multiplying fractions. Well, we'll see what you think. I value everyone's opinion here. So 1/4 of 8. When we see the word of, I want you to think of multiplying. So I'm just going to erase that and put 1/4 times 8. And the way I learned it when I was in school was we put a 1 underneath the whole number. And this is actually the same way I do it now. And you do 1 times 8 is 8, and 4 times 1 is 4, and then you get 2. Hey, I'll show you that here, then I'll show you how to cross cancel. So we have 1/4 times 8. We have 8 1/4. Here I have 8 1/4. Okay, and this is 1 whole. So let's see how much 8 1/4 is equal to. Boom, that's 1 whole. So 8 fourths equals 2. So that model shows that. Cross canceling, I just see this and I want to cross cancel. So what goes into both 4 and 8? 4, right? So divide by 4, 1, divide by 4, 2. So 1 times 2 is 2, and 1 times 1 is 1, and 2 over 1 equals 2, okay? Now the model. So 8 is our whole, and we have 1/4 of 8, and that equals 2, okay? Here's 2/4. 2/4 equals 1/2. 1/2 of 8 is 4, and 3/4 of 8 is 6, and 4/4 of 8 is 8. So it might look confusing at first, but eventually it starts to make sense, and I think really helps with the conceptual knowledge of the student on multiplying fractions, our goal here. Here we have 2/5 of 20. 2/5 of 20. Well, I like to just think of that of as multiplying and put it over a whole number. You could cross cancel here. You could cross cancel, and I'm gonna do that just because I love cross canceling. So what goes into both 5 and 20? What goes into both 5 and 20? A common factor. That 5 is a factor of 20 and 5, and 20 divided by 5 is 4, and 5 divided by 5 is 1. So 2 times 4 is 8, and 1 times 1 is 1. 8 over 1 equals 8. So here we go. Fifths here, and 20 is our whole. And what's 2/5 of 20? So 2/5 of 20 is 8. 1/5 of 20 is 4. You always want to start off with that one. And then we do the multiples. You start off with the unit fraction, so you can just divide by 5 to get the unit fraction one. And then you do the multiples up here. 3/5 of 20 is 12. 4/5 of 20 is 16. And 5/5 of 20 is 20. So I hope this helps you with multiplying fractions using the standard algorithm and the new math models.